Hello, welcome to D-Transit and welcome back to another episode of This Week in Transit. Before we begin, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and comment below what other content you'd like to see featured on the channel. Without further ado, here's This Week in Transit. We start our day at the federal level of the United States government. Amidst a U.S. government shutdown caused by the failure to appropriate a budget by Congress, the Trump administration has decided to withhold billions of dollars of funding for infrastructure projects, particularly in big cities and Democratic-leaning states. Among the funding is the $16 billion allotted for New York City's 2nd Avenue subway and the Hudson Tunnel project, and $2.1 billion allotted for the CTA Red Line extension in Chicago. According to Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, the funding has been withheld until the DOT can confirm that the money is not being used for, quote, discriminatory, unconstitutional contracting processes. It should be worth noting that particularly in the case of the Hudson Tunnel project, the current aspects of the construction preparation have been coming in on time and under budget. Amidst the shutdown, though, these reviews could take more and more time, delaying projects that would relieve much of the infrastructure-related stress on our transport systems. In Philadelphia, the National Transportation Safety Board has urged SEPTA to suspend their Silverliner 4 rail cars, which run on their regional rail network. Built by General Electric in the 1970s, the Silverliner 4s are the electrical multiple-unit rail cars that form the backbone of SEPTA's regional rail fleet. They're used primarily for local services, as their quick acceleration allows them to stop frequently at stations without losing too much time. Since 2018, the railcars have had a notoriety to catch fire, but the bulk of the incidents occurred in separate times in February, June, July, and September of this year. The NTSB has since investigated the fires and has now advised SEPTA to suspend the usage of the Silverliner 4s. SEPTA originally disagreed with the finding, opting to keep the fleet in service due to fleet constraints and the fact their network relied on Silverliner 4s. In the last week, however, the FRA ordered SEPTA to remove the railcars from service for inspection over the next 30 days. The removal of their most important railcar has caused delays, cancellations, and extreme overcrowding on SEPTA regional rail services. As over 50% of their fleet has now been taken out of service, SEPTA now relies on Silverliner 5s and no more than 45 push-pull passenger cars to carry the remaining load. In Florida, Miami-Dade County is set to open their largest public transit project in a decade. The Metro Express BRT system is set to open on October 27th, linking some 20 miles between Metrorail's Dadeland South station at the northern end of the BRT and Florida City at the southern end of the BRT. 14 covered stations, each fitted with AC, Wi-Fi, charging points, level boarding, and lobbies, will span over the bus-only corridor, which will be the longest all-electric BRT service in the nation. The busway, run entirely by electric buses, is fully separated and will even have crossing gates, stopping other traffic at intersections to give unrestricted priority to buses during weekday rush hours and early green lights during off-peak hours. 200,000 people live within 1 mile of the transitway's stops, with more to come thanks to zoning rules that allow for increased housing near transit corridors. But Miami-Dade could have had so much more. A train expansion of the Metrorail, which currently terminates at the northern end of the BRT corridor, was the original idea to be implemented down to Florida City, but officials blocked it, citing high costs. A BRT system that has full priority isn't necessarily a bad thing, though. Commuters along the route will find their commutes shortened by upwards of 20 to 25 minutes. Up in Canada, the Ontario government has completed construction of the new Confederation GO station in Hamilton. GO Transit is the regional bus and rail system of the Horseshoe region, connecting Toronto with Kitchener, Peterborough, and Niagara Falls. The station in question lies on the bend of Lake Ontario, between Toronto and Niagara Falls. The new station, which began construction in 2019, has seen several delays, but construction has finally ceased, and the station will begin serving Lakeshore West GO trains on October 27, 2025. The overarching agency, Metrolinx, expects the station to service an additional 500,000 riders per year on the network. Lastly, we'll travel to India, where the country is financing and constructing 2 cross-border rail links with neighboring Bhutan. in a project worth 46 billion Indian rupees, or 541 million US dollars. It would be about 68 kilometers or 42 miles of new track between Gelfu on the border of Bhutan and Kokrajhar in the Indian state of Assam. The other portion, 20 kilometers long or 12 miles, would link Banarat in the Indian state of West Bengal with Samsi in Bhutan. A combination of funding from Indian Railways and the Indian Ministry of External Affairs will finance the project, as both lines will complete within the next 3 to 4 years. Fully electrified, the lines will support 160 km an hour or 100 miles per hour Vande Bharat EMU passenger trains as well as freight trains. And with that, we come to a close in This Week in Transit. If you enjoyed and want to see more content, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Comment below if there's any news I might have missed. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you all next week.